It is official. The United States has officially added silver to its critical minerals list. And there's two other metals that have been added as well, which I think are very important. We'll talk about how this could affect price and so much more as we explore. That's right, it finally was published today that the critical minerals list has been updated to include silver. That's right, and there's another metal that's been added too, which is very important, and that's copper. That's right, copper has been added, and so has platinum. Platinum has also been added to the critical minerals list as well. And I tell you, it is something to see the world we live in now. This is the first time this has ever occurred. The United States has added copper and silver to an expanded list of critical minerals that it deems to be vital to America's economy and national security. But you know what? Copper and silver have always been vital to America's economy and national security. Honestly, silver has been money for thousands of years and has been money in the United States really up until 1965. So why has it not been on the list before then? Well, that's a good question, and the reason is because of supply chains. That's right. For the first time ever, supply chains are under threat for both metals, and really, in a sense, for platinum too, but platinum is becoming more and more crucial these days as part of other rare earth minerals as well. The new list, which was compiled by the U.S. Geological Survey, includes 10 additions to the previous one in 2022, taking the total up to 60. The other notable additions are uranium, metallurgical coal, potash, rhenium, silicon, and lead. In addition to copper and silver, confirms the earlier draft list, which was provided by the United States Geological Survey. It said it devised the list by using an economical model that it developed to estimate the potential effects of foreign trade disruptions of mineral commodities. But you know what? They can use that excuse, but I think there's more to it than just that. Supply chains really are under threat and have been a problem. That's one of the reasons why silver's price has risen, but also just because of other factors as well too. Foreign trade disruptions are certainly a part to some extent, but remember, there's a lot of other factors that come into play as well, including other geopolitical concerns that are out there that extend beyond just that. I think in a sense that was a political excuse for this. But nonetheless, the assessment spans 84 mineral commodities, 402 industries, and more than 1,200 scenarios, which the USGS says offers a more realistic and usable framework for policymakers. Now, keep in mind that copper has a wide variety of uses out there. There's no question. But the most diverse metal on the planet in terms of its use cases is silver, with over 10,000 use cases. That's pretty dramatic. That's pretty amazing. The critical minerals list serves as a basis for which commodities the Trump administration will invoke a Section 232 probe for potential tariffs and trade restrictions, as it has done with copper earlier this year. That is indeed one aspect, too, we're looking at and to see with Section 232 as well. But you know what? For us, what is it going to mean for price? Well, I'm going to get into what it means for price later in the video. But in the meantime, check out Summit Metals. They are the channel sponsor, but they've got a lot of great products, excellent customer service, and fast shipping. You can check them out in the link in the description below. Now, this list would inform areas of investments in mining and resource recovery for mine waste, stockpiles, tax incentives for U.S. mineral processing, as well as streamline mine permitting. So that's another motive. We need more domestic production here in this country, and I'm going to be talking about that in another video. But nonetheless, it is something to see, and that critical minerals list means it is critical that we produce them as much in-house, in other words, in the country, as possible. The update comes just days after the U.S. and China agreed to resolve their issue over rare earth minerals, which make up 15 entries, or a quarter of the total of the USGS list. Now, we talk about platinum, but also palladium is on the list as well. Niobium, nickel is on there. Copper, cobalt, cesium, other metals, tin, titanium, tungsten is there. So it is pretty amazing to see a variety of metals. And rhodium is also on the list as well. I think it has been on the list. And gallium is a metal that's on the list. That's a metal that melts at 84 degrees Fahrenheit. I have some in a salivate metal round form that CCT had sent me. Check out his channel. But nonetheless, it is interesting and fascinating to see this list and how that's going to play. Now, what will it mean for silver's price? That's the burning question here. I honestly don't think it's going to have as much impact as you may think. Notwithstanding, I do think it will keep the price of silver from falling too much. In other words, we could see silver pull back some more. We could see it consolidate. As I record this video, it's recovered losses and it's moved up a bit, but it's kind of flatlined. But nonetheless, I think this is going to keep the prices from falling too much. I don't think it's necessarily going to boost the price of silver. And just like I don't think lead is going to go up in price because it's on the list. I also don't think copper is going to go up as much because it's now on the list. However, notwithstanding, copper is a metal that we're watching too. In fact, as this announcement has come out, silver is down 1 cent today, and copper is down 1 cent a pound today. So in the immediate aftermath of this, overall, in terms of the market is kind of shrugging its shoulders on this, but I think it really does support the idea that silver is critical. It is a critical mineral, a material. It's a critical metal, no question about it. And I believe that it serves such a vital role in our industry that right now, in the modern age, we could not survive without it until graphene comes along, which they say is going to be the great replacement, but it's a long way off before getting there. That's for sure. But there's other aspects of other metals and materials as well, but there's just no replacing silver at this point. And so it's pretty remarkable. Now, it is the best conductor of electricity, and copper is too. No question about that. But I think what we're going to watch out for and see with silver specifically alone is its unique properties of such a good metal for all of these different applications. The best, the preem, it's the golden metal of the industrial, technological, and biomedical age. There's no question about that. No other metal even comes close to it. And so therefore, the fact that it's on this list really shouldn't be surprising, but on the other hand, it is surprising because it hasn't been added before. But supply chains have not been under threat as they are now. So now some of this supply chain issues were stemmed from tariff fears, but notwithstanding, given the fact that we are seeing the 5th year of tightening supplies of silver for all the demand that's needed, it is only getting worse. And we're seeing disruptions in the Shanghai Gold Exchange now that are continuing to intensify, even as I record this video, and other situations and other vaults around the world where, silver is being utilized and having to be divvied out for its actual physical demand needs for industry, for science, for technology, for the medical field, and that which is being divvied out for investment and for stacking and for cultural applications, such as what would be used for festivals in India. India per capita is the largest consumer of silver. And so that is a market we're watching very, very closely. Obviously, for the United States, it's a critical mineral because of all the applications for technology, photovoltaics, cell phones, electronics, data centers. The AI race is on with China and others. So that is going to be a big deal. That's going to require a heck of a lot of silver. So those are the things we're watching here in the market. But now that it's on the list, I think that we're going to see silver play a more important role, and it may not be a big publicized deal. In other words, yes, you may hear other news sites, other YouTube channels post on social media about this being a big deal, but in terms of price, it may not be as big a deal. In other words, I don't think we're going to see the price of silver just shoot up to $54 again strictly because of this. But the reasons why it was added to the critical minerals in the first place is part of the same reason why the price has went up to $54 in the first place. So there you go. Let me know what your thoughts are about this news, this breaking news here about silver being added to the critical minerals list. And what are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to have a big impact on price? Let me know. I strive to bring you the latest news and information and analysis in a world of precious metals, and silver is a very fascinating and amazing metal. Let me know what your thoughts are. I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel and pressing that thumbs up button and sharing this video with others on other social media platforms. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.